Happy Sunday, everybody. It's me again. I'm back today because, well, it's a Sunday and I'm uploading a YouTube video. But this week I'm going to show you how I'm going through some of my meal prep for the week. I'm going to go a bit harder on the meal prep this week than I typically would. Normally I don't really meal prep anything. As I said in my last video, I kind of maybe make 4 portions of something at a time, but that's about as far as I go into my meal prep. Whereas this week I've decided that I'm going to meal prep almost all of my week's worth of food in advance. I've planned out my week's worth of food down to exactly what meals I'm going to be eating on each day, and I am going to go and this evening put all of that into MyFitnessPal in advance, just so I can tweak some of the snacks or something like that. Let's just say it needed a lot of tweaking because I'd seriously underestimated the amount of food I needed for the week. And I should have actually put all my calories in advance before I prepped, because I need to add quite a lot of food. But I'm not going to cook everything because my food cooked doesn't last in the fridge for a week really, even though I probably definitely have eaten stuff that was cooked a week ago. And I haven't got a huge amount of room in my freezer, and the meals I make, I'm not sure how well they're going to freeze. So what I'm going to do is essentially make as much as I can and prep everything to the point where it would take less than 5 minutes to put together, because that's, I guess, the amount of time that it would take if you had meal prepped everything and you needed to microwave it to warm it up. So I'm going to make all my breakfast, lunch and dinners, and I'm going to pre-portion stuff out if I'm not going to make it. So on the menu for this week is I'm going to have either overnight oats with protein powder or a huel protein powder mixture for breakfast. So I'm actually going to try freezing overnight oats for the first time. I've never tried freezing it before, and I'm going to weigh out all of my huel and protein powder just so that when it comes to putting it together in the morning or the night before, I will literally just dump the powder into a blender. That's a bit excessive because really, how long does it take to put a couple of scoops of stuff in a blender with some milk or water? But you'll definitely won't keep for a week, so that's about as close as I can get to prepping it. I mean, the whole point of it is that it's quick anyway. And then for my lunches and dinners, I'm having some seitan wraps, so I need to make my seitan today. I'm going to have burger salads, so I need to make those burgers today, but I'm also going to pre-prep all of the salad vegetables. I am going to make tofu scrambles, so again I'm going to pre-prep all of the veg. I'm just not going to cook anything. I'm even going to pre-crumble my tofu and stuff like that, literally, so I can just whack it into a frying pan for a couple of minutes and then it'll be done. And I'm going to make 2 portions of French toast that I'm going to make today and freeze, because I had 2 meals left and it's quite nice to have a little mixture now and again. One of the reasons I decided to do this is because, well, so as a bit of context, I live in Wales, and Wales has been on a national lockdown for the last week. So this is like the 9th day or something like that. And I'm sure that has got something to do with it. But this week I have just found working out from home and eating in a calorie deficit like 20 times harder than I did this time last month. So I'm trying to get a bit more momentum by meal prepping all of my food. I thought it'd be interesting to try it out as well, because as I said, I don't usually do this, but also I'm in a kind of vicious circle where eating in a deficit is feeling really hard, so I'm not. Don't get me wrong, I haven't been binge eating all week, but I have probably been eating nearer to my maintenance, especially because the amount of exercise that I'm doing has gone down. So yeah, I'm feeling stuck in a rut. I don't want this to snowball, but yeah, I've really not been loving exercise this week, which is really unusual for me. I cannot wait to be able to go back to the gym in a week's time. It's only a week, and I'm really trying not to complain too much about, a 2-week break from the gym, but I'm finding it so difficult. So yeah, combination of things, and I think possibly the fact that I did my 2-week maintenance week prior to this, I think that's maybe not helped either, because I was eating, I've taken quite a big cut in calories, so maybe that's not helped particularly. Maybe I should have tried to taper off a little bit, but I've just been feeling really like about everything just in life in general. The weather's been bloody awful, like it's been horrible all week. I hate working out in the house. Anyway, I'm gonna stop complaining. We're gonna go into the kitchen for probably the next, well, let's see how long it takes. It's currently, can you see that? It's currently 13:26. I know exactly what I'm making. I've even gone as far as in my diary, I've made a list of all the stuff I need to prep. I made this list of stuff I need to prep. They're just, things are falling out, just on an old page, because that's how I plan my meals out. I planned out what I'm gonna eat on what day in advance. I'm gonna do as much prep as I can so that every meal will take me less than 5 minutes from deciding to eat to putting in mouth. I don't really want to freeze stuff, so I'm not going to be freezing too many things. I'm going to try and completely avoid using any single use items, and I don't mind cooking or assembly, but as I said, 5 minutes, because I want to make this helpful for other people who don't like spending lots of time in the kitchen. I personally love it. I love cooking. I always have. I feel no qualms about cooking for half an hour every day. Doesn't bother me. In fact, I enjoy it. Yes, that's what's on the menu. Let's get into it. I'm not going to show you too much because I reckon I'm probably going to be cooking for about 2 hours. You don't want to see that, but I'll try and keep you updated with tidbits as we go through. My selection of Tupperwares and stuff here. I have got more in the cupboard. Got my to-do list, so let's go. Thing I'm going to do is make my seitan. So I've got just over 200 grams of vital wheat gluten. Going to put my stuff in it, going to knead it, and then it's going to go on the hob. Done. There we go. So we've got our finished block of seitan there. It's about 400 grams, so I will split that into 4. This doesn't look like a lot, but it puffs up a lot when you cook it, so it'll look like a lot more. Should have said as well, in here I've got some meat-free beef stock, some nutritional yeast and some garlic powder, and then in the pan I will boil it in some more stock with some whole garlic cloves. The next job I'm going to do is make my overnight oats. So in here I'm going to be doing some oats, protein powder, frozen fruit. 4 portions of overnight oats with protein powder. Done. Here is my breakfast. So we've got 4 overnight oats, 3 wholes that I've measured out, ready to go. So I'm going to put 2 of these oats in the freezer. The rest of these can just stay in a cupboard. So I had to get a bit creative with this because I didn't have enough containers to do it all kind of separately. So I've pre-crumbled all of my tofu in there, so there's 2 blocks, and then I've done kind of 2 portions of veg per box, so I'll have a quarter of this and half of one of those each throughout the week. I've taken pictures of how much each of the containers weigh, so it should be easy to just weigh stuff out as I'm going along. This looks really funny, but I've weighed out some popcorn kernels. I don't know if you can see that in these little stemmer to goes. So I've got 3 of those, and I'm going to have some of these Alpro chocolate pot things. Yeah, there's about 100 calories each in these, so they're pretty good actually. There's 3 grams of protein. It's not a ridiculous amount. So yeah, I'm going to have 4 plus 3, 7 maths. Oh, right, I'm really flagging now, but I've got my salad vegetables in that bottom box there, except for the greens, which I'm not going to pre-cut, I'm just going to cut those on the day. Then I've got some shredded carrot and some cucumber and some sliced tomatoes in there. So those 2 are for the wraps and those will be for my salad. Right, it is 10 to 4, so that's taken me about 2 hours and 20 minutes. I've still got my burgers in the oven. They're not quite finished yet, and I've just sort of tidied up and done some dishes and stuff. I did finish cooking about 15 minutes ago, so it did take me about 2 hours. Made a complete up and I haven't got any bread, so I can't make my French toast. I thought I had some in the freezer and I haven't. Yeah, so I haven't got any bread at all, which is really handy. So I'm gonna have to go out at some point in the week and get some. I had it planned for the weekend anyway, it being a slightly more like treat meal, but I'll just make both portions at the same time rather than mess about making it separately. So yeah, I'm nearly done. My fridge is like absolutely rammed with stuff now, so there's no room in there for anything else. Even if I wanted there to be. Yeah, I'm exhausted. To wrap up this video, my advice would be don't freeze overnight oats. If you are tracking your calories, make sure you do that before you plan out what you're going to cook so that you cook enough food. Make sure you actually have all of the ingredients to do your meal prep, because yeah, I end up having to do more prep during the week. I cooked rice or potatoes to go with some of my meals. I cooked quinoa to go with some of them. Had to make my French toast. All of those things would have been quite easy to do during my meal prepping sesh, but because I didn't realise I needed to do them, I ended up having to do more cooking during the week, which again, I don't mind, but if you're going to try and do this to avoid cooking during the week, then that's something to be aware of. But yeah, I've actually meal prepped it quite a bit this week. And I think I might do the same again next week. So actually I ended up enjoying it a lot more. I will just make my overnight oats throughout the week rather than all in one big batch. That's it for this week. Let me know in the comments if there's any questions you have on my meal prep video, or if you'd like me to make another one. Maybe on the next one I make, I could actually show you in detail what I planned and how I cooked it and that sort of stuff, rather than just experimenting with it. Other than that, I hope you have a really lovely week and I will see you soon.